So crypto has gone after real estate, gold, and even memes, but nobody touched 80 trillion IP market until now. Today, we are talking about the project named AMPL Protocol, a project that wants to bring intellectual property on chain. Think about music, art, patent, or even brands' rights. Digital asset you can create, license, and scale globally. This could be the next RWA narrative in crypto and maybe one of the biggest untapped opportunities we have ever seen. In this episode, I'm sitting down with the CEO of Ample Protocol to break down how it works, why Ample token matters, and what this could mean for the future of the creators, investors, and Web3. So stick around. Kenny, welcome to the show, man. Thanks for coming, man.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for having me, inviting me, following
That's
up all the things.
yeah, following up. Yep. So, Ample Protocol. So, the big vision. Ample says it's unlocking 61 trillion market. Can you explain this in simple terms and how you're planning to tap into the massive opportunity?
Yeah, sure. So first, it's I've found out recently that it's more like an $80 trillion market, intangible assets, which is
Hmm.
kind of crazier, right? But
Yeah.
the idea is pretty simple. So if you think of real world assets, right? Let's just take a building, right? You think of, okay, you take a building and then you tokenize the ownership of that building, right? And
Hmm.
then those tokenized assets are available to everybody. And so now globally, ownership of said building can happen on a global level on chain, right? So all we're doing is essentially treating intangible assets, intellectual property specifically, that can be
Mm.
film IP. Think of like the Harry Potter franchise, or think of Star Wars
Yeah.
franchise, or Super Mario Brothers, the gaming franchise, right? Think of these big franchises, or even patents, copyrights, code, right? Things, intellectual property that's fed into AI models, right? And even the output that comes out of AI models. All of that's intellectual property, right? So you can quickly
Mm.
see why that could be such a huge market. And I won't go into that, but basically what we're doing is we're taking the intangible or inaccessible intellectual property, right? Because think about it. Most people can't access Star Wars, as an example. They can't access the Star Wars franchise.
Mm.
They can't own part of it. They can't own royalty streams. Um, they can't they can't even license some of the characters to maybe do like a side story or anything. There's really no ability to access any part of that IP franchise. So essentially what
Right.
we do is we tokenize intellectual property, we add legal contracts to it, and then we allow global access to that intellectual property brand or franchise. And so the way that we're approaching it is we're basically building these modular Lego block tech stacks that we deploy one at a time. So we'll deploy agents, streaming, royalty claims, all those things, and then eventually get it to the
Mm.
point where those can be distributed globally to different markets, different streaming platforms, and everything else. But that's a little bit of we can go further into that, but just like a high level overview, essentially what we're doing is just tokenizing that intellectual property and taking it from this intangible asset all the way to becoming basically an asset that can be used as DeFi collateral. So the whole IP
Mm.
lifecycle, that's what we're building the tools and stacks for.
All right, all right. So if a 14-year boy or a girl, like a teenager, right, who's new to cryptocurrency just because the sparkles they see on Twitter, Instagram, and all.
Of course.
So if they are listening to this podcast and you wanted to
Mm-hmm.
tell them why you should buy your token or why you should invest on Ample Protocol, AMPD. So
Mm-hmm.
what will you say to them?
Well, first, if they're 14 or 15 and they don't understand blockchain, they definitely should be asking a lot more questions before they're buying anybody's token.
Mhm. Mhm.
I'm a firm believer in educated investing or token purchases or anything else like that. I
Mhm.
also, because I'm a founder and it is my project, I'm not allowed to give any kind of financial advice.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I have to be very cautious. What I would say is, if you're into the idea of intellectual property and you are a creator or filmmaker, musician, you love games, you love IP, what I would say is look into the future of intellectual property, research it, ask GPT, jump in and like jump into our TG, ask me 800 questions, and then just make sure that you're really getting educated before you make any kind of like token purchase decisions,
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, so but I think in terms of I can talk about like what the token does all day long. That's cool. I just can't tell people to like buy or sell the token. That I just yeah, that's that's a little bit out of
Yeah,
scope.
I understand. I understand. So we are only, if anyone wants to buy your token, they can just simply go on CoinGecko or on your
Mhm.
website or on your Twitter, and they can copy the contract address and they can
Right.
buy it from Uniswap, right?
Yeah, yeah, totally. And make sure, like, again, we have all the contract addresses in our, Telegram and everything else. So
Yes.
definitely make sure that you're buying the right amped. It's
Yeah.
pretty much the only one that'll show up properly on any,
Uh-huh.
but you still just want to make sure, you
Yes.
know,
Yeah, I get it. I get
be
it.
smart, be safe.
Be safe. Yeah, absolutely. So why AMPD? Like, what is the D about?
Yeah, so I mean, the deal behind it, the name specifically, like we're Ample Protocol, right? And the whole point with Ample was, enough for everyone. I come from a creator background. I worked at National Geographic, Discovery Channel.
Oh,
I've
damn.
had, yeah, so I have a whole IP background. I played music forever. You can actually see like
Oh,
keyboard and
yeah, I
stuff. So I
saw
have
that.
like a home studio and everything. So
Mhm.
I've always been into IP, and then I got into crypto in 2019, and
Mhm.
then that's when I really started like researching intellectual property and understanding the value. But the whole point of Ample was enough for everyone, right? Because that's really a lot of the ethos behind why we're creating decentralized technologies anyways, is so that everybody has access to tech, money, resources, everything. So that's really the global vision and the real reason that you want secure decentralized systems.
Mhm.
I won't go too far into that because the question is why amped. So we had to come up with a token name, and I think I'm pretty sure there were already other AMPLs, and then
Mhm.
it was like Ampleforth, which is kind of like a stablecoin project, and I'm not even sure what they're doing anymore. But there were just these other things, and then we started like just testing out all these different names, and I don't know, I thought about like AMPD, and I was like, oh, you could use that like it's a sentence, like I'm amped, get amped,
Oh,
amped. Like it's like
amped.
it's like
Yeah, I get it
yeah, it's like
now.
energy. Like I'm
Yes.
like you're amped, I'm amped, and then we were like, you know what, that goes along with like our ethos and like my energy style, anyways.
Yeah.
I snowboard, play sports, and like just like love doing things. So like the
Mhm.
idea of like being amped, it's like it just seemed like something that was more exciting and fun, and so we that's what
Right.
we went with. You could put
No,
it
I
in a
get it
in a
now.
ton of sentences.
Yeah. I bought amped through Uniswap or something like that.
Right, get amped. It's like
Get amped.
it's like
Yeah.
people are like get amped. It's like it's a statement. It's a powerful statement.
I'll tweet about it. Get amped.
Right. Exactly. That's
Uh,
that's the thing, man. There you go.
all right then. Hey, I wanted to ask, like, if you see the other, RWA projects like
Mhm.
Chintai, like
Yeah,
DeFi
Chintai, yeah.
chain.
Love checks. I
Yeah.
know the team. I know the
Yes.
team like really well.
Yeah. So if you see like I'm just asking apart from Ample Protocol, like
Mhm.
which RWA token or project is doing super well in your eyes, and
Mm,
they could be your competitors, ahead.
totally. So, well, our direct competitors, Chintai is not necessarily a competitor of ours.
Hmm.
RWA projects specifically kind of fall into two different, um, I guess, subcategories, if you will, right? Or
Subcategories, yes.
subverticals, right? One is
Hmm.
the actual real world assets. That's like buildings
Yes.
and things like that. And
Buildings,
that's a
yeah.
little bit more like Chintai style. And then, and like Ondo and things like that, right? And then you've got other more intellectual property, AI, late agent layer
Mm,
plays, or
hmm.
creator coins, and that's really Zora
Yeah.
and IP Story Protocol,
Yep.
and
Story protocol.
then
Yeah.
yep, and then Camp, right?
Mm,
So those are the three bigger ones that are like our direct competitors are more like story protocols, really probably
hmm.
the closest one.
Mm.
And they're at like a $1.85 billion market cap, and
Yes.
then right, which is
In
crazy.
top 100. Yeah.
Yep, and then Zora's big as well, and I
Mm,
think they're at like $350 million market cap, and then there's
yeah.
Camp, which is about 200 million.
Among them, my favorite is Zora because I saw
Right.
their growth. It's exponentially going well. And I
Yeah.
saw Ample Protocol's growth as well. Man,
Right.
we are doing without any centralized exchange listing. We have
Right.
like a market cap of $500,000, right?
Yeah, it
And it
fluctuates
is,
every day. I try not to look at
yeah.
it.
Yeah, but literally, if you see other projects which are on the same pedestal, like on the same ranking category as us, you can see straight line going up, straight line going down.
Right.
Nothing, man. Literally pump and dump. Like
Right.
that's why I love your protocol. It's really organic. Like people can actually see and get attracted by these charts.
Yeah. Well, we
I
also,
do
yeah, I
believe
mean,
that.
and we're like, we're builders. We've been in the space for a while. And
Hmm.
I actually launched the token. The other thing is about, and this is, I won't get too far down the rabbit hole with tokenomics specifically, but a lot of people really don't understand tokenomics and how to look at them.
Yes.
But if you
Yep.
look at like a lot of these other protocols that we're mentioning, and I'll just say study the tokenomics and look at the vesting and the cliff schedules and the
Mm-hmm.
unlocks, you'll start to see quickly that a lot of the valuations and the market caps are, I would say, the math creates certain valuations, whereas we're a much more like fair launch,
Hmm.
almost like we're an incredibly diluted project, which means when you buy in, you're not going to be exit liquidity at some point. All of our like vesting schedules and everything are also public and linear. So there's no big monthly unlocks and there's no huge investors or anything else like that
Mm.
either.
Yeah.
Whereas if you look at the other projects,
They have
um,
VCs, they have,
yeah,
yeah, I know.
lot
I
lot
know.
more lot more exit liquidity is needed.
Yep, yep, I know. What do you think, like by end of the 2025, end of this year,
Yeah.
Ample Protocol is going to how much like market cap?
Well, again, I can't speculate on that, but I can tell you that our team is very aware of the comparable market caps of other projects. And most of the people that are involved with our project at this level are very aware of the other market caps of other projects. And I will
Hmm.
say that Raj is the co-founder, our
Raj.
target, yeah, yeah. Well,
Uh-huh.
his name's Rogelio. He's Mexican,
Uh,
but I just call him Raj. Keep it simple. But I think like basically what we're looking at is targeting like, yeah, I mean, we don't see why we can't be a competitor close
mm,
to the competitors that I've already mentioned in terms of market cap and growth and
mm,
size, especially when we're rolling out launch partners. People are starting to use our SDKs. We've got revenue generation right around the corner. The dApps going live, mini apps going live. So I mean, like right now, it's all happening. So everything's getting started now. So by the end of the year, yeah, I could see us definitely being fighting comparable to the competitors that we previously
mhm.
mentioned.
Right. You know what? Like nowadays, people and other influencers as well, like if there is any potential project, like which is legit utility based, not a meme coin, utility
Right.
based, uh, and it is doing good all alone without on CEX listing, and
Right.
then people get so much juicy about that coin that they attract people say like, hey. Even if after 1 year, 2 year, whenever they list on centralized exchange to open more opportunity for people to buy the token,
That's right.
they will buy Ample Protocol because we are not
Right.
listed and we already close to 1 million. we are far behind to
Totally.
zero than 1 million, you know?
Yeah, well, and I
So,
think a lot of people don't fully understand the effects that centralized listings can have on,
mhm,
your project. And
mhm,
so we're very aware that we have to be very patient in the beginning. And
patient, yeah.
I knew that I was going to be patient, and I knew that we were going to build like stability at first
Mhm,
with the project,
mhm.
right? And I do think, I mean, once we, and I've seen it before, because every time we get really close to like, every
Oh,
time, am I
you
still
cut
here?
enough. Can you can you come again?
Yeah, I got an interruption. Someone called me. But okay, so, but to basically every time that we get close to like $1 million market cap, right? That's when
Mhm.
everybody comes out of the woodwork and starts tweeting again. And, they're like, oh, I told
Yeah,
you to buy Ample at 300K. You know what I mean? It's like,
I know what you mean. You know,
and
the
so then the
closest,
awareness increase, the hype increases. It's crazy. So, but later down the
yeah.
line, I think you can get on sexes responsibly. Like that's the thing that I think a lot of people forget is like,
Mm,
it's part of my job to be responsible. And if I know that getting on a centralized exchange is going to hurt the project, I can't in good faith do that. It's just, we're just
yeah.
not ready. You need a higher market cap to do that responsibly.
Right, right, right. You know, not a financial advice, guys, but I
Right.
see this token going to 10 million, about $10 million market cap by end of this year. You know it, you know it. That's all. Not a financial advice, guys. But, you
Right.
know, contract address is below in the description, guys. Just copy and paste it over. It's on base, right?
Right. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
And
Why
base
did you
and base
choose
is,
base?
well, I was going to say base is great because, and we were just at On Chain Summit and we got selected to demo and everything else like that. So that was really great experience. And we're launching our mini app on the Base app. So the reason
Mm,
that I think Coinbase and Base make the most sense is there's two big reasons. And
mm,
one, it's an end-to-end solution from general everyday users that aren't super familiar with crypto. It
mm.
gives them a direct line of access to crypto projects, DeFi
Right.
projects, Web3 projects, everything else. So
Mhm.
everybody that builds on Base has access to all of Coinbase's users, right? So
Right.
that's big. That's huge in terms of adoption, people actually using your project, helping you generate revenue, because they
Mhm.
can now go from fiat to
Mhm.
crypto and back to
Crypto, yeah.
fiat easily, right? So that gives a lot of normal people an chain abstracted process. Also, the
Yeah.
other big, and this is a big one, every project that is on Base and listed on a decentralized exchange will now be accessible on the Coinbase app. So a it's like a basic huge centralized listing baked in,
Yeah.
and that's happening really soon. So
Mhm.
every project that's a Base project will be on Coinbase soon,
Mhm.
which
Did
means that
anyone?
that's like why people are like, hey, Kenny, why aren't you doing a centralized exchange? And I'm like, because we
Yes.
have Coinbase right around the corner. That's like
Yeah.
arguable. That's like a massive exchange that people are going to be able to access the token from.
I remember there was a time I was the one asking you, why don't you list on, you know?
Exactly. Exactly.
Yep. So, uh, I wanted to ask you, like, do you like if you can open up, but do you have people who approached you, I mean, from venture capitals, that's saying that, hey, we want to fund you because you know we saw there's this stuff going on with you guys, and you know we wanted to be partner with your project. So how do they approach you? Like, I would just wanted to know, or
Yeah.
if
Well,
they
I mean,
do, then what will be your answer?
yeah, totally. So there's a lot of different parts to fundraising. It's not as
Hmm.
simple as people giving you money. There's the different ways that people can give you money. We only have a very small amount of angel investors that ever helped, and then I'm basically the second biggest investor in Ample. So
Hmm. Yeah.
that's why when people are like, "Oh, and I have people that are like, "Is this a scam project?" And I'm like, "If it's a scam project, I'm scamming myself." You know what I mean? So, but
Yeah,
when
I
it
know what
comes
you mean.
to and we turned down a lot of investors because a lot of investors wanted to use basically our project as exit liquidity, right? They want you
Mm,
to hype,
yeah.
and then get people to buy the token so that they can sell the token and get it a lot cheaper.
Mm,
Right now, with a live token, most of the ways that investment works is would be OTC deals with liquid funds, and all that
yep.
really means is that they buy your token at a discount, right?
Mm,
Where we're at, we're turning down OTC deals. We're not taking any OTC deals right now. Again, I
mm,
think there isn't the market cap needs to be higher to responsibly do that.
yep.
And also, because you have to be mindful that you don't give away too much of the supply to one or two players that could just manipulate the charts. Even like our allocations as founders and community and all the different wallets that we have for different ample focus and foundation activities.
Yes.
All of those are everything. Nobody has an allocation that can just wreck the project. Like we made it basically mathematically impossible for that to happen.
Mm, I see. You know, the AI plus Web3, you're combining AI with
Mm-hmm.
blockchain for IP monetization, right? Can you
Right.
share how AI plays a role in protecting and scaling intellectual property?
Totally. So, I mean, yeah. So I'll just talk about how we're using AI because I think AI is a very huge
Yeah,
topic, right?
right, right.
We look at AI in a couple ways. One, agents specifically, right? Because
Uh,
people, if you think of agents, agents handle specific functions and they're
right.
built to execute tasks, right? So agents can
Mm,
handle payment settlements. Agents can handle IP infringement, right? So they
mm,
can make sure that your IP isn't being used anywhere without your permission and report back.
mm,
And then we also have agents that basically do analytics prediction. And then we'll have agents that also basically support marketing activities, right? And
right.
then for AI tools specifically, because we're IP focused, you want to have models that actually are responsibly fed IP where people can then generate their own assets and
Mm,
legally tokenize those assets using different AI tools as well. So we're focused on that because that's
right.
our vertical. So basically, mostly creator, and then anything that supports an IP brand making money, clearing transactions, settling payments, and actually getting exposure.
Mm. Yeah, that's great, man. I wanted to know like how many people are working in this project, like for
Yeah,
example.
so because we're bootstrapped, we scale up and down, right? So we have anywhere between 5 and 15 people working on the project at a time.
Mhm.
As an example, this past month, we had a huge push and a huge sprint to basically finish the DApp and finish the mini app. So, this month there are um, about 12 to 13 people
12
working on the
people.
project. Yeah.
I see, I see. That is good, man. I wanted to know like we are going like big on Twitter as well. Like as I see your Twitter over here, we
Hmm.
have like 32K followers, and few
Yep.
of the people who are in your pedestal, like on the ranking of CoinGecko, they don't have that much followers as you do.
Right.
So, do you think Twitter helps to get attention for projects like you?
Hmm. I, I think it does. The interesting thing to me, as I've been learning over the last few years with Twitter, um, right? So, like, as a business owner, and I've been kind of an entrepreneur since I was basically 11. As an entrepreneur, you're always focused on your ROI, right?
Mm,
Um, and so, what I have not noticed is a direct because we've done different things to boost awareness on X. We've done ads, which some of those have received like 1 million impressions, right? And we'll get tons of engagement. And then there's also working with different KOLs that are really into the project. There's also different giveaways. There's all these different engagement mechanisms that you can use. And I think X is, crypto Twitter essentially. That's one of the biggest spaces, but it's also kind of an echo
Yes.
chamber,
Yep.
right? So it's like very important to get out of echo chamber. So I think, but in terms of the actual ROI of X, it's still relatively low. I think realistically, it's been nice to see growth and awareness and everything, but I think a lot of our Zealy campaigns or giveaways or this and that, you have to be careful. We're pretty responsible with how we manage like farming too, right? Because you have to be cautious with farming. But I think what I've learned is that a lot of the awareness or growth is still only a small percentage of those people really convert to being like holders, right? Which is really the goal, like holders and believers in what you're doing. That's really every business though. It's always a numbers game. You're all sales roles and any kind of operations I've ever done in the past. It's you're never converting a high number, right? And even
Hmm.
most businesses have a conversion metric. They know their conversion metric. It's always
Yeah.
relatively low. But I still think
Yes.
X, for the most part, is the place where you need to be.
Hmm.
Um, but I think understanding that it's not the only place, right? Because I think there's a good
Yeah.
argument for TikTok and IG and
Hmm.
even right now, right? You're starting to see a lot more engagement on the base apps or a Farcaster,
Sora.
etc.
Yeah, Sora as well. Yep. So,
Yep.
last bull run, the hottest narrative was gaming
Right.
and yeah, and DeFi, right? Last bull run. So I think so in this bull run, you know what is hot right now? Meme coin, AI, and
Yep.
RWA. These three narrative are, I believe this will be top of the game because
Right.
last year has their own narrative. Before the last, it has their own narrative. I feel like
Yeah.
in this bull run the RWA coming up with so much, development and so much, they are attracting people. I, I think like Base as well, they are attracting so many new users that
Right.
it is going to benefit for your project and overall. RWA Boom
Definitely.
real world asset are hottest trend in crypto right now. How Ample positioned compared to the projects like Ondo
Yep.
or Centrifuge,
Yeah. Totally. So I think again, Ondo and Centrifuge are in the other category of real world
Yes.
assets.
Mm,
But I think the awareness of the size of real world assets and the fact that you're seeing a lot of traditional finance, TradFi, basically buying in to the RWA narrative. You see ETH
mm,
rails being adopted and accepted, BlackRock,
mm.
Fidelity, the list goes on and
Yeah,
on.
yeah,
Um, and then, interestingly, you brought up meme brands or memes. I think of memes as brands. And we talk to a
yeah,
lot of meme
brands.
projects. We're like, right after this, I'm jumping on a space with a meme brand.
Yep.
We work with a lot of meme brands because memes are IP. And so the nice thing is this intersection of AI and IP and real world assets. Like, you know, and AI, yeah, like we're right in the middle of all of that. So I kind of love like the space that we're in because I love real world assets. I think memes as brands is gonna be the like. I mean, look at what look at what Luca's done with
Yeah,
Pudgy
Pudgy Penguin.
Penguins,
Yep.
right? I talk about that all the time as a great case study. And so I think if you see what's happening with meme brands, with real world assets, with AI, and actually utility of AI, not just like AI in general, right? Because that's a bit of a hyped up thing. I think that's where IP fits in nicely. And you're starting to see that awareness with, again, Story Protocol being a $1.85 billion market cap.
Yeah.
So I think what's nice is that, and we've been around long enough, and I've personally been around long enough and preaching IP long enough that, people take me seriously and we listen. I've spoken about IP at NFT NYC, ETH Denver,
Mhm.
different near events back in the day. And like, even now, people are hitting me up just to be like, Kenny, how can we even launch our IP brand? How can we tokenize this? Because there's a layer of legal understanding that you need as well, which I've done tons of research on. And We have a good lawyer and everything else like that. So I think we fit nicely, like right in the middle of all of it, you know. And I do think all the ones that you mentioned. I mean, those are the narratives, you know.
Mhm. Yeah, those are the narratives. Last question. Tell me your top five, you know, crypto projects you are heavily invested on. Top five.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Not a financial advice, guys.
Of course, yeah, no financial advice or
Yep.
anything. This is just stuff. So I'll just tell you what I do and there's different plays, right? I mean,
Hmm.
with my family and friends,
Hmm.
or people that like I most of the time tell them safe plays. And I've been doing this for a while.
People come in this, watch this because they are degenerates. They
I
don't
got you.
like to play it
Okay,
safe, you know?
got it. Not the safe. So gotcha. Well, if we're talking just more speculative degen type of stuff, or even like um, lower market cap stuff, I'm looking at different projects that I know the founders of, right?
Hmm.
And so couple projects that I am looking at right now is WTF, but it's what the firkin.
WTF?
Yep.
Yeah,
And then there's a Buster coin, and
Buster.
that's like a real world asset, but for like awesome cars. So there's like a
Hmm.
really cool play there. I think Toshi is still a good play.
Toshi on
As
base, yeah?
Yep, Toshi on
Yeah.
base. I'd have to throw my hat in the ring because I buy R token all the time. And
Right, right.
let's see, one more that um, I could probably throw in there. I I I do. I am in like Desync and Hash AI. Those are two AI plays that you
Hash,
can
yeah,
look at
yeah.
as well.
Yep, yep.
They're a little more like solidified though, but they got beat
Hmm.
up from their previous highs. So I think they could do a little bit
Yeah.
of a run as well.
Yep, yep. So
Yeah,
guys,
there's a couple other like I like Pepper Meme on base, like that founder's
mhm.
dope. He's awesome, so I think they're good.
You
Um,
have a space with them, right? Chili
yeah,
pepper
and I have a
base.
space with them coming up.
Yep.
But these are all founders that I got to connect with and talk to, and I'm like I understand their GTM a little bit, but
Mhm.
yeah,
Right. Thank you so much, Kenny. Thank you so much for coming and joining to me and
yep,
for this podcast. And I wish well for your token before end of this year. You're going to skyrocket, go to the moon. So
I appreciate
thanks,
it,
Kenny.
brother.
Thanks for coming. People, the contract address is in the descriptions. If you wanted to buy, check their Telegram. I have
Yep,
link in the description as well. Check their Twitter. Follow them.
yep, and we're
Thank you,
always in
Kenny.
TG. Jump in, ask away as many questions as you want.
Yep, yep. Go ahead. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, brother. Have a good one.
You too.